Garlic bread sloppy joes bring together two beloved comfort foods, creating a dish that's both nostalgically familiar and delightfully inventive. Imagine the tangy, savory essence of a classic sloppy joe, with its rich, meaty tomato sauce, all nestled between halves of buttery, golden garlic bread, crisp on the outside, soft on the inside, and bursting with flavor. This combination not only elevates the humble weeknight dinner, but also delivers a crowd-pleasing meal perfect for gatherings, family dinners, or any occasion where you want to impress without spending hours in the kitchen. But what exactly are garlic bread sloppy joes, and what makes them so irresistible? Let's break down their origins, their components, how they come together, and just why this fusion works so well. First, let's revisit the classic sloppy joe. This American favorite traces its roots back to the early 20th century, often credited to a cook named Joe in Sioux City, Iowa, who added tomato sauce to loose meat sandwiches. The result was a sweet, tangy, and savory ground beef mixture, simmered gently with onions, peppers, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and a touch of brown sugar. Traditionally, this filling is heaped onto a soft hamburger bun, resulting in a sandwich that's as messy as it is delicious, hence the name Sloppy Joe. On the other hand, garlic bread is a staple side dish beloved across the world, especially with Italian-American cuisine. It starts with a hearty loaf, often French or Italian bread, cut lengthwise and slathered with a mixture of butter, garlic, parsley, and sometimes cheese. Baked until fragrant and golden, the bread is both crisp and pillowy, offering the ideal vehicle for soaking up sauces and juices. Now, imagine what happens when you merge these two comfort foods. Instead of the usual soft hamburger bun, the Sloppy Joe filling finds its home between two slabs of crispy, buttery garlic bread. This swap is more than a simple substitution. It transforms the entire eating experience. The garlic bread's robust texture holds up better to the hearty meat sauce, preventing the dreaded sogginess that can plague traditional sloppy joes. The garlic, butter, and herbs add new layers of flavor, perfectly complementing the sweet and savory filling. To construct the perfect garlic bread sloppy joe, it all begins with the filling. Ground beef is the classic choice, but turkey, chicken, or plant-based alternatives work just as well. The meat is browned in a skillet, then combined with diced onions and bell peppers, which add sweetness and crunch. Next comes the sauce, ketchup or tomato sauce, a splash of Worcestershire, and sometimes a dash of hot sauce or mustard for extra zing. Brown sugar or molasses can be added for a subtle sweetness, balanced by a hint of tangy vinegar. The mixture simmers until thick and luscious, allowing the flavors to meld. While the filling simmers, attention turns to the garlic bread. A loaf of French or Italian bread is sliced horizontally, exposing the soft interior. In a separate bowl, softened butter is mixed with minced garlic, chopped fresh parsley, and a pinch of salt. Some cooks like to add grated Parmesan or mozzarella for extra indulgence. This compound butter is generously spread over the cut surfaces of the bread, ensuring every bite is infused with flavor. The bread is then baked in a hot oven until the edges are crisp and the butter has melted into every nook and cranny. Now comes assembly. Once the bread is golden and fragrant, it's removed from the oven and allowed to cool slightly. The bottom half acts as the sturdy base, ready to catch every drop of the saucy sloppy joe mixture. The hot filling is spooned over the bread, and for an added twist, a layer of shredded cheese can be sprinkled on top. The cheese melts into the sauce, adding creaminess and binding the filling to the bread. Finally, the top half of the garlic bread is placed over the filling, completing the sandwich. The first bite is a revelation. You're greeted by the unmistakable crunch of toasty garlic bread, followed by the warm, savory-sweet sloppy joe mixture, rich with tomato, browned meat, and aromatic vegetables. The garlic and herbs linger on the palate, while the butter adds a luxurious mouthfeel. If cheese was added, it stretches with every bite, providing both visual appeal and an extra hit of flavor. Each mouthful is a careful balance of textures and tastes, transforming the classic sandwich into something new and exciting. This fusion isn't just about flavor, it's also about practicality. Garlic bread's structure helps contain the sloppy joe filling, making it less prone to falling apart or becoming overly soggy. This makes garlic bread sloppy joes a fantastic option for entertaining, as they can be sliced into halves or quarters and served as handheld sliders or party bites. They're equally at home as a hearty main course, paired with a crisp salad, roasted vegetables, or a simple bowl of soup. Customization is another hallmark of this dish. The basic blueprint is endlessly adaptable. For a spicy kick, add chopped jalapenos or a sprinkle of red pepper flakes to the filling. For more depth, a splash of red wine or a spoonful of tomato paste can be stirred into the sauce. For a vegetarian version, swap the ground meat for lentils, mushrooms, or crumbled tofu, making sure to amp up the seasonings to match the bold flavors of the original. Gluten-free bread can be used for those with dietary restrictions, and vegan butter and cheese alternatives make the dish accessible to all. Garlic bread sapijozos also invite creativity when it comes to presentation. Some opt to make individual sandwiches with smaller rolls or hoagie buns, transforming them into personal-sized treats. Others bake the garlic bread open-faced, layer the sloppy joe filling on top, sprinkle with cheese, and broil until bubbly, creating a hybrid between a sandwich and a melty, saucy toast. For a family-style approach, the entire loaf can be filled, pressed, and sliced into portions, encouraging sharing and conversation around the table. Part of the charm of garlic bread, sloppy joes, is their sense of nostalgia. They evoke memories of childhood dinners, school lunches, and potlucks, yet feel fresh and updated thanks to the bold flavors of garlic and herbs. They're approachable for cooks of all skill levels, requiring only a few simple ingredients and basic kitchen techniques. And, perhaps most importantly, they bring people together. There's something inherently communal about passing around a platter of hearty, savory sandwiches, each one dripping with sauce and flavor. In addition to their taste and versatility, garlic bread sloppy joes offer a lesson in culinary fusion. They demonstrate how classic dishes can be reinvented by combining elements from different cuisines, creating something that feels both familiar and new. The buttery, garlicky bread, inspired by Italian-American traditions, meets the all-American sloppy joe, resulting in a mashup that's greater than the sum of its parts. This spirit of innovation is at the heart of home cooking, encouraging us to experiment, adapt, and make dishes our own. So, what makes garlic bread sloppy joes so special? It's the harmonious blend of textures, the crispy bread and the tender filling. It's the layering of flavors, the pungent garlic, the sweet and tangy sauce, the savory meat, and the creamy cheese. It's the way the dish brings people together, inviting sharing and conversation. And it's the ease with which it can be customized, ensuring there's a version for every palate and occasion. Whether served as a weeknight dinner, a party centerpiece, or a late-night snack, garlic bread sloppy joes capture the essence of comfort food. Simple, satisfying, and endlessly adaptable. They remind us that the best meals are often those that marry tradition with creativity, and that a few humble ingredients can, with a little imagination, become something extraordinary.